Hello to our YouTube family, subscribers and followers. Glad to have you with us. We're going to kind of do something a little different today. We're going to, we were going to go out and show you the ranch and show you some of the animals and different things here where we're at my brother's. The problem is that it's absolutely dumping rain, lightning and thundering. It rained all night. It's pouring right now. So we thought it might be a good time to sit down, and we're going to kind of do a recap of our trip and kind of give you a little insight on what it's like to travel. We were on the road for 4 days, 4 days straight. It was about 90% positive. We had a few no problems with the motorhome. Motorhome was great. I mean, I worked a lot this winter getting everything straightened out and getting it working right, and it absolutely was flawless. And that was such a great feeling after our last trip, coming back from Minnesota, coming down the coast of California and using a gallon of oil every 30 miles was an expensive trip. Was an expensive and smoky and terrible trip, and we don't want to do that ever again. So when we find problems, that's the thing. When you have problems with your RV, don't let them go, because if you let them go, they get worse and worse and worse. And I knew I had a little tiny oil leak, and all of a sudden it just decided it wasn't going to be a little tiny oil leak anymore. So this trip was pretty good. We got on the road. We headed out from Morristown, Arizona. It was pretty hot when we left, and as we kept going down the road, it cooled off, and as we are now, it's pretty cool here. It's comfortable, but very rainy. Going to see our new baby was the highlight of the trip. Seeing Cage was amazing. We can't wait to get him and have him for our own, but that's going to be a little while. We're going to have to wait for a while so he could grow up and leave his mommy. We thank Julie and her family. They were amazing. They really opened their house to us and let us play with the doggies. And Sally, Cage's mommy, she was very gracious by letting us hold him, and she was just... She was nervous. But she was really, really awesome. Patient. We had a really good time there. And like I say, we can't wait to get him. It's going to be a while, but we're going to patiently wait. We're going to sit on our hands, and then when we get him, then it'll be a whole new story in our lives, and you'll get to see him grow up and be a part of the family. What we'd like to share with you today is some of the tricks that we use on traveling cross country, and how we find places to stop and places to eat and different things like that. And basically, I'm the driver, and Darla is the navigator, and for us it takes two, otherwise you have to stop and spend time. But there are some tricks, and I'm going to kind of let Darla tell you what's going on. She's going to show you this little pocketbook first.
So this is what we use. It's the Pocket Truck Stop Guide, and we got ours originally from a friend of ours who was a cross-country truck driver, and he lived by it, really. And it tells you everywhere to stop. For us, it'll tell us where all the Flying J's are, and the Loves, and the Pilots. Anywhere there's a convenience store. It also tells you if it's got a dump station, refueling, if you can boondock there, if they let you stay the night. And this thing is invaluable to us. We also use an app on my phone called Parky for Walmarts and stuff. Flying J's too, but this one and that one together help us to figure out where we're going to stay. And I always, if we're going to stay at a Walmart, I call and I make sure that staying overnight is allowed, because sometimes it changes, or city ordinance can change too, and people that are not ethical with when they stay there at a Walmart, and then the store just shuts it down and we don't have that availability to us anymore. So I always check. It's just a good thing to do, and then that way you don't drive all the way there and find out, oh, they changed their policy. The other thing I like to do on RV Parky app is I update things, and I'll tell, you know, the app they either do still allow RV parking overnight, or they don't, or if it was too noisy or too sketchy or whatever. But these things anyways are, I think they were like
$5 or $6.
I thought it was $6 or $7. But anyways, it's not that big, and I just keep it on the dash, and I refer to it tons and tons, and it tells you what state, what highway, and what off-ramps. So, I mean, you can't go wrong using this. And then I make my own notes in it too as we go, because again, sometimes things change from the publication of these into the time you get there. This one is edition number 25. I think they probably have 26 out now. But yeah, we use this all the time. And RV Parky on your store app is a really good one too, also.
Also on the Walmart thing, a lot of times it will say that they'll say, well, we don't allow parking. And Darla, she usually does the calling, and she'll say, okay, and they'll say, well, you know, you can come here and you can spend the night, just kind of like check in or whatever, or just by calling them and letting them know. Sometimes they'll say, well, we have signs in the parking lot. We don't normally enforce it. We don't like people spending a week. We don't like people putting their slide outs out and stuff like that. So as long as you're considerate, and we do definitely recommend that you call ahead, because just, you know, sometimes people say it's better to ask for forgiveness instead of permission. I find that to be true when you want to wash your motorhome. But when it comes to staying in a Walmart where you're not paying and you're basically asking them for a free spot to park, it's a good thing to call ahead and talk to them. Like if we're in a campground or something, I'll usually try to sneak a wash in. Sometimes they'll come and tell me you can't, and then I just say, okay, well, let me finish it, and I won't do it, or I'll give you $5 or $10 or something for letting me wash it, and then I just don't do it again. Most of the time, they don't have a problem with that. As far as the being able to do these things, Darla, the other night, Darla was not feeling well, and when half of the team is shutting down and I'm driving, it's starting to get dark and I'm getting tired, and we had a long day. We had gone through a ton of wrecks. There was wrecks all the way through Dallas and out the other side.
Wind and
rain, weather, lightning, a lot of wind. Wind is the worst thing in a motorhome. And we got to what was it, Sulphur Springs, Texas. And I found a little place, and I whipped off onto this little road in front of this radiator shop, and it was really close to the freeway. It just did not feel comfortable to me. And I just told her, I said, well, we got to pull out. We went on the other side of the freeway, and there was a big parking lot. We pulled in there, and I was like, well, and she finally came out of the bedroom and said, well, let me look real quick. And she took 5 minutes. We were a mile away from a Walmart, and awesome Walmart. And it was one of the ones where we called. They really didn't recommend spending the night there, but they were cool with it. And if you stayed in a certain area, they had rules. So we went over there, we followed their rules, and had a great night's rest, and we needed that. We so definitely needed it.
We also make a habit of, I mean, we shop at Walmart almost 99% of the time.
Absolutely.
So we go in there and we give them a little of our business, and they're appreciative of that. And I did tell her that we needed to do some marketing, which was true, and that we would be, you know, doing that in the morning. She was fine with it. And like I said, when you call like that, if they're flexible, they'll let you stay. You know, they're pretty decent people, I think.
Yeah, Walmart has been really, really good to us. The city where we used to live, they do not want people to stay there. We do see people staying there on occasions. Right. But it's a city ordinance. In California, the cities and towns and states, they've got more laws. You cannot, it doesn't matter what you do, you're wrong. So the secret to California is just kind of stay away from California, I think, if you can. We go there every year because of the Christmas trees, but and our kids and mother-in-law. So anyway, the basics on this is that you always, one thing we don't do is we always try to find somewhere ahead of where we're going we talked to a lady today that's in her 70s. We try to help her on our travels, and she called us and she said, I'm here and the weather's getting bad, and should I drive south, and should I do this? And I said, well, this time of year it's probably a good idea, just find you a campground, pull in there, get all hooked up, get your rig all warmed up and nice and cozy, and spend a day or two until the weather passes and it will get nice again. Now sometimes in the fall it gets worse, but at this time of year it tends to, every time it has a cycle of bad, it starts to get better the next time. So she thought that was great advice. You don't want to buy the same territory twice. You always want to just, you don't want to buy fuel. Fuel's expensive, and going backwards can be a real hassle. So you always want to be headed towards where you're going. And if you do have to spend money, it's nicer to spend money on parking,
relaxing,
being able to relax, dump your tanks, fill your water tank, get everything situated so that when things do kind of clear up, you're heading in the right direction again, and you haven't paid a lot of money to go backwards, and now you got to pay money to catch back up again. So, anything else you want to add to this?
I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah? Yeah, it's really nice here. Our family is wonderful. We want to thank them for letting us stay here. We have a full hookup site here. It's absolutely beautiful. We really feel loved here.
Even when it's raining.
Even when it's raining. Our nieces and nephews, the problem is they are really growing up. They are growing up a lot. It's great to see.
Oh, and they want our puppy.
Yeah. Well,
or their own.
Or their own. And we've been asked if there are any more puppies available, and we got to find out. It's possible there might be one more. It would be a little boy. It would be Cage's brother. And I talked to her last night, and she said she'd be letting me know. My brother might take the other little girl. So they've had Boston Terriers too. So it's possible.
It's just a matter of the kids convincing Dad.
Yeah, the kids are all in. It's Dad that's kind of, you know, they have dogs and cats. They have so many animals here. If you saw how many animals, I mean, they don't buy feed by the bagful. They buy it by the truckload. So that's where my brother is right now. They went to go get a truckload of feed for the animals. So anyway, I think that's it for me. How about you?
That's it for me too. Thanks for joining us and subscribing and following, and tap that bell so you get notified of new content releases. And we thank you guys for peeking at our lives, just seeing what we do.
Yeah, thank you for all the new subscribers.
Yeah.
You guys are amazing, and people making comments. We just love it.
We do.
It's just,
we love it.
it's amazing because we're starting to feel like we're getting to know you guys, and we've had people say they'd like to meet up with us on the road and stuff, and that's always possible. You know, leave us comments, and when we're traveling or something, or if you want to come up to Hayward KOA and spend the weekend or something, we'll be up there all summer long. You're welcome to come see us, and we would love to see you, and we'll buy you a free some more. Anyway, you guys have a great day, and we have a lot of cool things around here where we're at in Arkansas that we're going to show you, but right now we'd have to swim there, so we're going to wait until things dry up, and we'll take you for a little traveling around town in different places. So thanks for watching.
Thank you guys.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.